Mr. Jackson, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for giving us some of your time and some of your expertise in helping us understand what's happening back home in Jamaica.
You said thanks, but you are our constituents. You are Jamaicans. So we have a duty to you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Well, the diaspora is a little bit confused, to say the least, right? Confused, concerned, worried. These are all of the emotions that seem to be flying around our Jamaican people and Caribbean people as well. We're trying to figure out what is going on in Jamaica as far as, 10,000 deportees from America, non-Jamaican deportees. Now, before you start to explain to me, let me give you a list of some of the concerns. One, where Jamaica gonna put so much people? Two, right? People in Jamaica are suffering already, right? So to bring them into Jamaica and dump them into the society, people are concerned about that. Also, three, right? At whose expense this would be. Four, where will they be housed? How will they be fed? Right? We also understand that the proposal is kind of like a pass-through thing where they would stay in Jamaica for a period of time and then they would go on to their final deportation destination, right? So we are so confused. I'm hoping this morning, Mr. Jackson, that you can help us out.
Yeah, I will attempt to do that. It is a fact now that the Jamaican government is considering, whichever the words that they choose to use at any time, accommodating the presence of non-Jamaicans, third-party nationals into Jamaica. Interestingly and importantly, the government's engagement in this exercise only came to light from a leaked document from the U.S. Embassy in Jamaica. The government of Jamaica was secretly pursuing this arrangement with the U.S. government without the knowledge of the Jamaican people,
Oh, wow.
without the knowledge of the Jamaican society. The day that the Gleaner reported the leaked contents of the leaked document to the public, the Minister of National Security hurriedly issued a public statement later in the day, I think it was last week, Tuesday, acknowledging that the government was having discussion. So that's the first instance that the whole subject came to light.
So stick up then, Mr. Jackson. So maybe the audio that we played this morning was an old audio, because we have an audio here of him denying that such thing will actually happen. And let me tell you what he said during that, just in case you didn't hear it. He said 100 Jamaican deportees are accepted in Jamaica every month, right? And that is at the cost of Jamaicans. But as far as 10,000 persons coming to Jamaica, that's absolutely not something that will be happening. And that comes from the voice of Mr. Horace Chang.
Okay, never heard the actual clip that you played. However, the following day, of the Wednesday following, at a press conference at Jamaica House, he then verbally or orally publicly acknowledged the discussions. That was further to the statement that he had issued later on the day before. Mm-hmm. Now, in the leaked document, the mention was made of 10,000 such persons, non-Jamaican, non-American citizens that would be coming to Jamaica. I mentioned before that it's a seemingly a hastily put together statement in an attempt to rebuff much of what was contained in that newspaper article. He said it was not 10,000 per person, it was less. But he never said how many. Mm-hmm. Is it 9, is it 8, is it 25? So when he was taken to task about this 10,000, later on the day in Parliament, he said that the amount would be no more than 25 persons every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Right? That was the statement he made in Parliament, further to questions that I raised to him, speaking on behalf of the opposition. What are the first issue that concerns us? Not just the the parliamentary opposition, the People's National Party, but many stakeholders and everyday Jamaican. What is Jamaica's interest in engaging in hosting persons being shipped out of the U.S. who don't belong to Jamaica, who are not Jamaican citizens and who are not American citizens, but third-party countries who we subsequently have learned are nationals who their country of origin is reluctant to take them back. So a whole host of issues now arise. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to forget the first one. Why is Jamaica engaging in this arrangement? What is the benefit to the Jamaican society? What is the benefit from the to the Jamaican people? All bilateral agreements, all bilateral cooperations between countries, it is about satisfying common interests or interests for either party in that arrangement. What is the benefit to accrue to Jamaica? We need answers to those questions first and foremost. But even dig a little deeper in what they are pursuing, as the minister outlined. Now, these are persons who we have heard from U.S. officials, the president himself, the Secretary of State of the U.S., that they are engaging countries and friendly countries to Jamaica to take pedophiles, rapists, the scum of the earth, that they do not want to be in the U.S., and the countries that they come from are reluctant to take them back. So we know from the U.S. government pronouncement the profile of the persons that are being considered in this program.
Mr. Jackson, what I was reading though, right, and I just want to get a firm understanding, what I was reading is that, the Jamaican government, the JLP administration is saying that they would be able to vet every person that is accepted into Jamaica, and they were saying that these people would not be, murderers and criminals and stuff of that nature. That's what I read, so I don't know how true that is.
No, that was said. That was said. But it's not everything said is necessarily true. Mm-hmm. And the way to assess whether there's any truth value to it is how consistent it is with the other information that we have. We heard from the U.S. people who are the persons who they want to send to these third-party countries. We know that.
And this goes against what they are saying.
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed. They are not sending their carpenters, their masons, their surgeons, their doctors, who we badly need of. Those are not the persons being sent.
Mm-hmm. So real criminals are come to Jamaica then?
Real criminals by virtue of what we have heard from the U.S. government. Mm-hmm. So the U.S. government is saying one thing, and the Jamaican government is saying one thing. But before you even preoccupy yourself with that, answer the question, what is the benefit to Jamaica? Why are you going there in the first instance? I heard you said in the introductory remark that they don't have to take them. They are not being forced to take them. Then why are you doing it? That is the inconsistency that I'm referring to. And that's the reason why I've said it before and I'm saying it again. We do not believe anything that the Jamaican government says on this matter. Because the inconsistency in what they say cause grave concern. We do not trust what they say. And in that regard, I've said it, asked the minister in Parliament, and this is interesting. I asked the minister in Parliament two particular questions. One, the MOU that he acknowledged had been signed the week before, the Thursday of the previous week, that sets out the framework for the operating details that they would pursue. Will he make that MOU public by table it in the Parliament of Jamaica? And he has flatly refused to do that. And we ask, what is it that you're hiding? Why is it that you are refusing to let the Jamaican people know the truth about what you're committing their country to?
Mm-hmm.
Is that unreasonable? Is that political?
So
so we are convinced that what they are pursuing is not in the interest of Jamaica.
So what would you feel that is in the interest of, in your opinion, if it's not in the
I
interest of
don't want
Jamaica?
to well, we know that it's not in. I'm concluding it's not because they're refusing to say what the benefits are.
So out of this conversation, there's one thing that's standing out to me, right? And that is, why did they try to hide it from the Jamaican public in the first place? Why was this being done without letting Jamaica know that we have now gotten a proposal from America to accept some deportees in transit to their final deportation destination, and we are considering it? Why do you think that wasn't revealed in the first place?
Well, it is only the only thing I can reasonably construe from that refusal is because what they're agreeing to is not in Jamaica's interests.
Mm-hmm.
Are they being forced? Say so.
Mm-hmm. According to what is being reported, they are not being forced. It's a proposal that El Salvador is also in the program, Mexico is in the program, Antigua and Barbuda is in the program, Dominica is in the program. Have you guys looked to see how the program was functioning in these other countries?
It's early days. It's early days in those countries. But what we do know, I think it's in the case of other Belize or St. Kitts, I understand that there are persons who are being sent to other country other than the one that they belong to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But, let us be frank. Let us be frank. The question I know that you're asking too, though not very explicitly, is Jamaica being forced to take these people?
100%.
Now, I don't believe that the government, they say that they are not being forced, but I don't believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the question is, will you speak the truth? Now, if a country feels that they are being forced, more than likely, they are not even going to acknowledge any difficulties that they're having because they would have agreed to what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be a contradiction. So one naturally follows that you're not going to hear much directly from these countries, though it is early days, I must acknowledge. But the question about the revelation, about what they're doing, further to the MOU, I'd also asked the minister to table in Parliament the agreed protocols under which it intended to take these persons before the agreement becomes operational. And the reason for insisting on it to be so tabled before is so the Jamaican people can see what is it that they're being exposed to. But this thing is even more worrying. You talk about the profile of these persons. I asked the minister in Parliament last week, Wednesday, are these persons going to be detained in our penal institutions? We have two major penal institutions in Jamaica. General Penitentiary, which, by the way, has over 1,700 male inmates, more than double the capacity that it was built for. More than double the capacity it was built for. St. Catherine District Prison has over 1,000 inmates. It was built for only 750 inmates. So that is the reality of our existing penal institutions for people who we need to accommodate and have a legal obligation for doing so.
From what I was reading, none of these deportees will be incarcerated.